Say hello. Over here.
Hey.
Hi.
You're looking on this camera. You're looking on this screen.
Mario Kart. I love Mario Kart.
You came to my house for the block party.
Oh, they can't. You know what? She can't hear you. Hold on. Here, put these headphones on. Well, they're saying hello to you. Oh, you're just saying goodnight? Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. It is time for another podcast episode. Thanks very much for joining us. You can like this video, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, you could follow us on your podcast app. You could also comment. Let us know what you thought of this episode. Chime in on the topic at hand. We have a special guest tonight that we will bring to you in a few moments. But first, let's bring the guys in. Charles, you are going to tell everyone about Patreon. Is that correct?
Yes, it is Patreon / 5 Idiots Talking Toys. You sign up. Right. You get our After Dark episodes.
Ooh.
Where sometimes Brandon may not have a shirt on. Maybe Correct. He does.
Right.
Lot of different stuff on there.
Right. Brandon, okay, you have a shirt on now.
Yes.
It's not a Patreon video.
No.
Right.
I'm actually doing a special tonight for if you sign up for Patreon tonight, I'll do you one better. I'll take my pants off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do they get a selfie directly to their PMs?
Of course, yes. Okay. Check your inboxes. You'll get a selfie.
What if I told you I don't have any pants on right now? Does that count?
Oh,
I mean, we'll take a picture. We'll move that mic as close as you can.
Okay.
And then we can listen to see what's going on.
John Walden is here.
Yeah, going on.
Now, John, I know you don't have your pants on, but do you have underwear on, though? Is the
negative?
Okay.
Commando.
Right. Okay. Chris, how are they hanging?
So you can check us out at 5 Idiots Talking Toys / OnlyFans, where Brandon will make it every night.
What the joke is actually on you, because the last time we were recording, I actually had no pants on,
and I was actually wearing a tank top, so I was half.
Well, I come back in, my wife's like, "Were you just recording?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "You're only in your underwear." I said, "Yeah, I know."
I'm pretty sure I was in my underwear last episode or 2 episodes ago.
I mean,
my son was like, "You don't have pants on." I'm like, "They can't see my pants."
Doing this for over 3 years, I don't think I've ever not worn pants. That's crazy.
Well, we should do a check around the room at some point in this episode. But
it's hot in the streets, bro. It's hot in the streets.
It is hot in the streets. All right, so we're here. We're talking about toys. We're talking about collectibles. That's what this channel is all about. Thanks very much for tuning in and joining us. Boys, we have a special guest tonight. He is coming to us from his lair.
Ooh. Sounds mysterious.
Jim Jones joins us tonight.
Oh.
From Dianoga Trash Talk.
What? What is that?
Wow.
Oh, you know well enough what it is, John. Why don't you explain it to everybody else?
I thought we went over this. You're supposed to no, it's a Facebook group full
Correct.
of people.
Let's get Jim front and center.
There he is. Where is he?
He's in there somewhere.
Are we allowed to talk to him? Or?
Jim, will you speak to us?
I'm right here, boys. What's going on?
Let's have Jim tell us what.
Yes, I agree.
Trash Talk is.
I agree.
All right, so for the most part, it's not your typical group by far. It's pretty much the whole entire premise of that group was I just got tired of seeing, drama, so to say, or interactions between two collectors beefing, and you know what? A few minutes later or like a day later, everything's deleted, gone, from the pages. And sometimes it's really great to see how other collectors feel about certain collectors. And, sometimes, it's not good dealings, and it gets heated, and then more dirty laundry gets aired. They start going personal, they start digging deeper, and next thing you know it, you start to find out more about another collector based on certain interactions. I'll albeit bad interactions. There's never the good ones that are worth listening to or reading about, but the bad ones, those are the ones that you want to keep on board. And so one day, I saw an interaction with this one pretty boy collector and another guy. We call him Fentanyl Tom if you want to. And it was on the bounty hunter group, and it got real dirty, man, to the point where I guess the pretty boy reached out to the admin and demanded he delete the threads. And we all know how the guy goes. He wants to sue and all that bullshit and whatnot. But I took screenshots of it, and then lo and behold, a few moments later, it was gone. So I thought to myself, you know what? Why not make a group where you can keep things like this for transparency and entertainment, and it makes for good content. And then Dianoga was born, and and it seems to be the place where people go to figure out how certain hobby make their moves behind the scenes.
So the group is fairly new, newish. I didn't have a sense because I'm only in the group for maybe maybe a year or so. But
3 years old now. 3 years old.
3 years old, yeah. So that's about right. That sounds about right then, based on the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kicked off right before Celebration in Anaheim. So like about the September of 2021.
Okay.
And then it took off.
You started it, Jim?
I started it, yes. Yeah. My brainchild.
So overall, do you guys think that groups like this is good for the hobby to have, or not good?
Are you asking me that question?
Anybody?
Oh, I mean, I like it. I don't want no one else to try to copy it because we don't need a whole bunch of these groups watering down the the cesspool. Content.
Yeah, you only need
cesspool.
one. You only need one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good for the simple fact that sometimes you need to see and remember the bad dealings within the hobby and the people that are like the charlatans and the ones that pretend to do good for the hobby and whatnot, or the community. They don't do. They're all full of it, and sometimes they put their own foot in their mouth. And you know what? I like to have my page there to keep it there and keep it open for new collectors more than anything to go back and see how it really is. And don't believe the guy. Don't trust him. Don't take him for what his word is, because it means
I mean, in general, I actually love it. I think it's great. People can kill a sales post if someone's trying to sell something and then drama starts. It's like everyone knows, like, don't be doing this on someone's sales post. Here's a page. Do it on here. It's welcomed. And like you said, that's how you can really find out how a person is, how they comment back and handle themselves. Maybe if it gets heated, things they might say, racial slurs, whatever, because we've all seen it. And then you're like, wow, that guy has a short fuse and goes there real fast. And it's just good to know for the future if you have to, deal with them.
Absolutely. And I mean, I try to keep a lot of things between myself and anyone else who has like any kind of gripes with someone. Like I get a lot of DMs and private messages, and people always tell me, like, you know what? It wasn't until I saw your group and read the comments on it that I understood how these other so-called hobby heroes are. And I would never put them out there. A lot of them were like even like one or two admins from the big group. And it's just, I keep it personal, I keep it private, but I appreciate their feedback on it and opening their eyes to like, the bull that's been had for this, for a few years. I mean, I'm only since 2018 I've been in this hobby. I just started.
What do you collect?
I collect unlicensed Star Wars, bootleg Star Wars, knockoffs, and it all comes from how him and I had reacted at one point. which totally turned me off from his group. You know, he was a big condescending at one point. Didn't know anything he was talking about, and on one of his live feeds, he really like kind of embarrassed me. You know, to the point where I was like, wow, this guy really, you know, went left field on me. So ever since that day, I was like, you know, this guy, and you know, I'll continue to try to expose him as much as I can because he's a fraud.
So one thing that I appreciate about your group, Jim, is so a few of us in this podcast have all gotten booted off of certain groups because of, you know, I don't know. Some people don't like us. Some
Vintage Alliance.
Yes, that group. Yes, Vintage Alliance.
Giant Alliance. Yeah.
So we've all, you know, gotten booted from a group or one or another, you know, and we have all blocked certain people. Now your group has allowed for at least me to see what those people are still up to and see how harmful they still are in the hobby. And, you know, if it wasn't for your group, I probably wouldn't even know that they still existed because I try to get rid of all these, you know, terrible, you know, people that try to lie and mistreat others and all that like that and take advantage of other collectors and stuff like that. Stuff that we don't appreciate and stuff that we actually are very passionate about and discuss here a lot on the podcast. So if it wasn't for your group and your screenshots and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't even notice that they were still in the hobby. So that's one way that I like to use your group and actually see what is still going on some of these pages. And, you know, and you're right, the bullshit is still there and those people have not gone away and they just keep mistreating other people. So hopefully other people can see that and know that those people are just a poison for the community in general.
And the interesting part about it all also is this. I'm not a member of the IC or the VA. That's going to be the only time I mention those two groups, just so I can get my point across here. It's the people that are members in the group that send me screenshots and they send me the content so I can post it up because some people really don't want that on their back. You understand? So I'm kind of like, you know, the voice of reason, or I help these people get their message across without them having to dig deeper into the drama that they see, because they see it. And he send me the content, he send me the info. I was like, look, can you believe this guy said this today? I say, you know what? Sounds like something he would say. Boom, let me post it up, and then boom, everybody feeds off of it, and they read it, and they say, you know what? Wow, this guy did put his foot in his mouth again. And I mean, 90% of the stuff I post, screenshots and whatnot, come from other people, other members that are in those groups.
Yeah, and it's not like it's fake stuff. It's real stuff that's really happening. You're just putting it out there for everyone to see it.
Yeah, and it's not like you're. What I like about it is it's exposure to that type of mentality and that type of hold on the collecting community without being like exposure. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you want to see for yourself. Here it is. It's not
Exactly.
blasting it, you know, all over the pages. But yeah,
And
that's what I like about it.
And truth be told about it all, at the end of the day, when one guy puts his foot in the mouth and he says something he regrets, guess what happens to that thread? What happens to that post? It gets deleted.
Yeah.
And then people forget about it. You know, it's just like water under the bridge, and, you know, everybody moves on. But not me. I keep it posted. That way it's there forever.
Yeah, you are the national archives of the vintage Star Wars collecting community here. With the,
Yeah.
You need to change you need to change your name to Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
When you're dealing with people who are like frauds and like stealing money or stealing items, like these are like, you know, serious things. Like you're stealing money out of someone's pocket. Like a new collector who comes in years down the road should know about these things. And
Absolutely.
this shit shouldn't be deleted so people don't know what's going on. So it's great that there is somewhere you're like, you know what? You don't believe me? Go here. Type in the guy's name and you can read everything yourself, and it's right there.
I used to go back on the bounty hunter group. I got banned from that group too.
Oh, he's gone. He took off.
Jimmy,
oh my!
No, it's right here in the back. These guys always race back here. But I used to always refer to the bounty hunter group, and that group has become, you know, somewhat censored. You know, they delete a lot of stuff, especially if it's like a favorite collector, like some big time guy. Like, say someone had a gripe with they will say their piece, and the next thing you know, the thread will be gone.
Yeah.
So who really who really can keep up with these, if not for the Dianoga group, keeping it there.
You need a place to like write stuff, and then like it stays there, because most of these groups, whatever you write, it never lasts. Once
Never does.
two guys are fighting, someone erases it like right away.
All the time.
Well, can we-
like that's horrible, man. It's like so boring. Like, I mean, the whole point of people expressing themselves in these groups is to get their point across.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to discourage them by deleting their posts after they express themselves, what is there left to do? They're going to stay shut now. They're going to be afraid of getting banned by speaking up. Like, come on,
Yeah.
So speaking of your group, how many members do you currently have in the group?
At one point I was trying to keep it at like 666 members.
Yeah.
And I felt
I saw that post.
because
You were booting some people.
Corey
I was getting rid of like the people I knew that just joined. I mean, by no means was I getting rid of people that were members of other groups, because I actually welcome them, because I know the message gets back to the founder. So I leave those guys on, but it's like those guys that that really don't contribute much. But when it was all said and done, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let it ride. I just started adding more members, but I could have been probably like over 700 at this point. But it's like right under 7, which I like. I like it nice and small and communal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually easier to handle anyway.
Yeah, because the more people you get in there, it's just like things get lost. And what content are they really adding? They're just there to read. Fine, don't read what you want. So.
Yeah, for the longest time, I couldn't even find your group for the longest time. I would search for it. I couldn't find it. And then all of a sudden it popped up as a suggested group.
Ooh, nice.
And so I was like, oh. So I clicked on it. I was like, yeah, I want to join the group and see what's going on over here, because it's always like this mysterious thing, kind of like you right now, and you can't see. It's like, what's going on over there? You can't see.
Yeah, I'm playing well into it, huh? It's a theme thing going.
I was for the group, and actually I couldn't find it. I got an invite from, I think, Michael Torres or something. He sent me. I'm like, I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Michael Torres is pretty cool. He likes to throw things out there too, and he has no filter, so he doesn't give.
He has zero filter.
No, he doesn't care.
That's a type of member. That's a type of member I could appreciate.
Yeah.
Someone, who's not afraid to bite back. So yeah, he gets.
Well, I took my sweet time joining, because I thought at first that the group, before I was in it, I thought it was just basically a talking group, just for the the point of making fun of people who collect, or making fun of things that they collect, or I just didn't know what the group was. And I said, well, it just sounds like it's all negativity. Like I don't need that in my feed every day. I got enough going on in my feed already. And then one of you guys saw something that pertained to us, I think, at one point.
Yeah, it was when you were Jackson Pollocking action figures and splatter painting them.
Oh yeah. No. But it was
they posted your shit on Dianoga, and Chris sent a screenshot saying, "Hey, look, Shane, they're your figures on here." Yeah. And then Shane's like, no, and we're all just like laughing our ass off. Like, finally, he made it on there.
But it was after that though. It was like, oh, this group just trashes everything. Like, all right, I'm not going to be in. I don't need that. Then it was like a whole year later. One of you guys, saw the, the Vintage Alliance, nonsense where we were slightly involved. And I was like, all right, well, I got to see that. So let me at least join the group and check that out. And then I got to see what's in the group. And I'm like, oh, this is like, dialogue going on. This isn't, just somebody posting all day long, just trashing other people for no reason.
It's not just straight up bullying.
It's not personal. Yeah, it's not personal. It's not bullying. It's pretty much like, if you feel a certain type of way about certain things, you have a right to express yourself. And you know what? Post it up. I mean, albeit you got a nice little cute figure that you made. And it wasn't, a jab towards you, but it's just like, what's going on with it? And someone said,
don't hold back, Jim. Jim, we don't hold back here.
We don't hold back either. Trust me.
Yeah, we let it go.
Yeah.
So Jim, you're near a fire there?
Excuse me?
Are you near a fire?
My fire just went out. I wasn't stoking it, but
If say you had one of Shane's figures, would you throw it into the fire?
no. Listen, I try not to be disrespectful. You know, I try to be real cordial. I would not burn it, but I mean, people joke with me all the time. I've gotten things in the mail, and it was like ICC swag. Oh, how many C's did I count the C's right? Whatever swag.
There's a lot of them.
And you know what? And I wouldn't even waste the time to burn it. I mean, I keep it here. You know what I do? I send it to other people. You know, like buddies of mine, like, whoever buys something for me, I'll throw a little piece of swag in there and, keep the joke rolling. That's all it is to me. It's a joke. So, yeah, I wouldn't burn his figure. No way. It'd probably be too toxic, too, all that he put on it.
Thing would blow up the side of your house off.
Yeah.
Kind of getting back to what Shane was saying, it's like when you're friends with a certain pretty boy, the one that looks like Zach Morris, the way he explains...
Don't ruin Zach Morris like that, man.
I love Zach Morris.
With the big phone.
Yeah.
The way he
Max
always
Headroom.
explained it was like, it's a bullying group. They just attack me and they attack just one other guy. And they just pick on me constantly and I don't do anything wrong. And when, it's like the boy who cries wolf. You can only cry so many times until you go, what is really going on here? So when you're friends with the guy, you like to believe what someone's telling you. I did. I'm not going to lie. I fell for it. And then when you kind of finally start to see what's going on, you're like, this is not what's going on at all. You're the one who's doing the stuff, starting the and then when someone's talking back to you, you just go around crying.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, you can see how many posts are being put up about the guy. Like, really? Like, I mean, is everyone bullying you? Are you not? I mean, and he can't see it either. Like, the guy's a narcissist,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like, and it's like, it's all about him or nothing. So the moment you don't follow suit, you're the bad guy. You're the bully. Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Listen, at one point, I'm not gonna say I was friends with him, but I was cordial with him. We had conversations about the hobby or whatnot. But then after a while, he got annoying, and he got to the point where I was like, you know what, you ain't shit. You're full of shit. And I called him out. And listen, that's the thing about being from the East Coast of New Jersey or New York area. You can smell bullshit a mile away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just
can
got
smell
the vibe
it in
from
Georgia too.
No, you can't.
I can smell it in Georgia too.
The only thing you smell in Georgia is a horse.
Yeah.
I
It's your
don't-
Georgia pizza burning.
And I don't care how big your collection is, how much money you got. I'm not going to kiss. I'm not going to look for nothing from you. I mean, the guy offered me an item at one point, something I was really looking for a few years.
I heard about
just
this. This was
and-
weird.
And just because he it was coming from him, and I refused that olive branch, right? Because he was like, yeah, let's piece it up and let me give you this item, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I don't want it. And he just kept on going with it. So I was like, you know what? Give it to me. I'll take it, but I'm gonna give it to somebody else. Oh, what the he gave me for that? He goes, oh, I'm not a trust fund kid. I just don't give it away for free. I was like, whatever. The thing ended up being some fugazi. It was the piece itself was legit. The way it was packed was fugazi. And that became a whole nother drama also. And that adds to another hobby too, whose initials are Giuseppe Flowers, we call him. That's his name.
Yeah.
But
What's his
anyway,
nickname? Zebby Flowers?
we call him Giuseppe Flowers.
Oh,
If you want to, his last name is we switched to we little play on words there, but he knows who he is. He's a piece of too.
Yep.
Do you have a nickname for Chris?
For Chris? No, not for nothing. I didn't know Chris was from up this way, like from New York. I mean, not for nothing. He looks like a New Yorker for some reason. He told me he worked a couple years out here. Like, Chris, New Yorker. That's it. He's all right. I could take the guy. He knows where I come from. He knows
I
how
used
it
to
is.
work right in the city.
Yeah.
I was actually
You got that
hoping
New York
you had
vibe.
some. I was hoping you had some nickname ready for Chris. Like, oh, Chris. Oh yeah, I have it.
No, I didn't. No, Chris is all right. Nicknames are given Bad nicknames. I give out bad nicknames. But yeah, so I mean, when it all comes down to it, the group is here, and it's here for a reason. It's not just to, like, bash people, you know. I mean, a lot of people don't like it. They don't like the drama. People just want to collect, and they want to be a part of this hobby for all the right reasons, which is all great. I love it. I love the people in it. I love getting together and seeing friends, as many times as I can. But at the same time, man, I spend more time exposing the bullshit, and I think that's where it counts because no one's doing it. Most people are too afraid to.
You know, the thing is, it's your group is not drama. I mean, it's facts. And
Yeah,
yeah. And it's like Shane said, it's dialogue.
When you look at it from a certain way, it's actually not drama. You're just exposing facts of what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, you're just exposing
keeping it up.
Yeah.
Funny part is, there was a few times people asked me about a certain someone, and it's like, you're going in the middle of the day, you might be busy, and you don't want to get into this long text message explaining. I always say, join this group, type in the guy's name, and find out for yourself.
And that's exactly the whole entire point of it.
And it's so much easier. And they come back like hours later, they're like, oh my God, I didn't know any of this. I'm like, well, it's there forever.
Especially when it goes back like years, imagine that. Like dealing with a person and you're like all of a sudden having an issue with him and you didn't know anything of him, but you wish you did know. And if now you know. And that's what hopefully more people will use that group for that reason. And it's a shame that it's like such a small, like it's a handful of people, but still, I'd rather know the dirty dealings of a handful of people than not know at all. So.